Yeah, you don't make it boring. It should be boring. It should be twist and the point.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I please request you to take your seats? So I'll just take a quick attendance for the next panelists. Those are here. Do we have Kamaljeet ma'am? Kamaljeet Yadav.
I'm here.
Ma'am here. Okay. We have Rita ma'am here.
She's there.
Aruna ma'am. Shefali ma'am. Pradeep sir. And Deepak sir.
No, he's not.
He's not. Okay.
He's the mic.
So after a much awaited lunch break, we begin with our second half of the day. May I have your attention, please? We are beginning with the second half of the day, and now we have our round table number 4. And as we talk about globalization, studying abroad is an integral part of the process, and that is also our next topic, which shall help us understand the journey from national to international and the what and how. Board to abroad, the next milestone in the educational journey. This discussion will be moderated by Ms. Aarti Tam, Senior Counselor, Unireliance. So may I have Aarti on the stage, please? Joining her, we have our esteemed list of panelists. We have Ms. Kamaljeet Yadav, Principal, Subodh Public School, Jaipur. Can we have a big round of applause? We have Ms. Rita Taneja, Principal, Delhi Public School, Jaipur. Ms. Aruna Suresh, Principal Consultant, Central Academy Group of Schools, Jaipur. Ms. Shefali Charan, Principal, Asian World School, Jaipur. Mr. Deepak Sharma, Director, Rockwood International Schools, Udaipur. We couldn't have Pradeep sir joining us today. So I welcome all the panelists for today's session. Aarti, over to you. I will request that we adhere to the timings. So as I said, 3 minutes to each so that we finish it on time and we are able to kind of compensate. Thank you so much.
How can I be the culprit? I spoke only what I spoke only what eating away the time. I spoke only what Karuna spoke.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
Everyone's feeling a bit more energized after.
And what is it?
So, firstly, I think I'll echo the sentiments of Monica Jija. I'm very, very happy and slightly amazed, and it feels quite surreal to be back in my alma mater, not as a student but as a moderator today. So that, I mean, this event has a special place in my heart because of that as well. That and the topic in question as well is something I feel quite passionately about, and which is why I'm currently the Senior Counselor at General College Counseling. Basically, I think you'll all agree with me when I say that schools are responsible not only for the beginning of development of children, but they are also the first milestone in the journey towards higher education that any child will. Schools will decide not only how the child develops, what sort of personality and traits they develop, but they also have the power to dictate the direction their education will take, at least to start off with. Because the kind of exposure you get at school does influence a lot of your decisions. As we are getting more and more globalized, there's more exposure, more talks about what is offered on an international platform. Indian students are looking at international universities more than ever before. So with that in mind, we've seen a change in Indian schools as well. There are more international board schools than there were before, than when I was a student maybe. So like we have IB and Cambridge, which has become quite popular, and it's not that new anymore. It's something which has become part of mainstream. But at the same time, we've also seen Indian boards, ICSE and even state board to an extent rise to the challenge and adapt to an extent, rise to the challenge and adapt towards this, towards sending their students to an international platform. And I think with this talk, we should, I mean, I would like us to discuss this further and within the context of, like they aptly named it, the new milestone in the journey of education. So I think I'd like to start with Samarjit. Okay. We've been noticing a rising graph in the number of Indian students applying abroad. And this remains a trend which is unaffected by almost anything. Even the global pandemic did not affect the number of applications international colleges received. So why do you think that is? Like, what is the reason behind this trend?
Namaskar, everyone. Thank you very much for asking this question. And I'm sure a few weeks back, rather last week, in one of the news channels, it was coming that even though the students going from India, they are facing a lot of kind of discrimination. And there were two young girls, they were narrating the harrowing stories they were passing through and how they were being discriminated. Despite this kind of a discrimination, our students are still good. That means there are certain things that we need to ponder over or think about, or it's high time that we start establishing standards of the global level. Now, we all understand that there are private universities, there are government universities coming up or already there, which have already been able to make a name for themselves. Despite that, there is some kind of infrastructure that is lacking in, which really demands that good infrastructure must be established. Being a mother of a girl who had gone 2 years back, that good infrastructure must be established. Being a mother of a girl who had gone 2 years back, I find now that my daughter, before going abroad, 1 year she worked in India, even though she had to travel back home in a four-wheeler, just 6 kilometers. Despite that, every day she had some or the other harrowing story of being chased or kind of bullied. There, she is traveling in public transport. Despite that, she has not narrated even a single instance that she had faced. So, safety is a big concern. Then another point that comes to my mind is that the kind of cultural diversity which these youngsters find, the freedom that they find, the kind of environment they find is really amazing, which we have somehow not been able to give up to our students. We are talking about, and in schools, we have been advocating this idea of gender equality. Yet that gender equality has not yet been started in some of the schools, unfortunately. They are here, it's yet considered that, oh, they are female teachers, उनकी देर की duty मत लगाओ. उनके crowd jam होता है, वहाँ duty मत लगाओ. You know, they are secluded, they are kind of given different, altogether a different kind of a treatment, which is next to impossible for me to digest and understand, obviously, because they are drawing the same salary which a male counterpart is. To the students in the classroom, they are being given second category kind of a treatment. Another aspect that comes to my mind is that we are too judgmental about the students as well, which they do not find in foreign universities or in a foreign land. Because here, even the society also, अच्छा आपकी बेटी कौन से कॉलेज में गई, अच्छा आपका बेटा कौन से कॉलेज में गया, अच्छा उसमें है, ओह अच्छा कहीं और एडमिशन नहीं मिला. These kind of remarks are something that parents do face. And of course, in foreign universities, it's not that everyone is making in the top university, despite they do well once they settle in their professions, making in the top university, despite they do well once they settle in their profession, because Indian students had seen so much of hardships. They're already indirectly polished with the skills, yet the skills are not being guided or are not very clearly empowered with, whereas they are already having those skills because they are really hardworking. They are really hardworking because they know that without hard work, it will not be possible for them to survive, even if it is in a higher studies or in universities, even in India, because the middle class, the upper middle class understands the importance of education. And they want that their child must be doing well. Because right in the morning, it was very nicely stated कि किसी बड़े कॉलेज में या यूनिवर्सिटी में क्यों पढ़े मेरा बच्चा, so that is able to get a secure job, a good job, and earn well. Because it's always money that matters to our Indian society. And at the same time, there are certain taboos, like in foreign land, you do not find that much of, stigma associated with kind of LGBT. We are a society who are not yet ready to accept the third gender or LGBT. This happens in foreign land very easily. There the students find a freedom to express themselves, and it instills or it gives them great confidence to adjust in all kind of or all any kind of environment. Here, a student who wants to raise voice is not allowed to raise voice because there are many things. There are many kind, because if you come from the similar kind of background, what happens? You have never been taught to raise your voice against some kind of injustice or any kind of injustice. There, a small thing becomes a big as well, and right from beginning, it's not that I'm saying that a small thing becomes big. No, certainly that thing is against your self-respect. That thing could be against your ethnicity. That thing could be against your background. But here in India, in our country, we are not allowed to raise our voice, whereas in foreign land, it's been seen that yes, the students are able to raise their voice. Another point that comes to my mind is that despite scoring very high percentage, students are not able to get place in higher education institutions. Like somebody referred here as DU or Christ College or this college or that institution. Why? Because a general category student who had worked hard, got 97, 98% is deprived because there is some sort of reservation. There is some who is less eligible but gets the seat, hence the student doesn't get proper kind of college as well. The very first frustrating point starts when you are not able to make in a good institution. So it's very simple to understand that there the students are able to get good colleges, and the colleges over there, they take you on the kind of, the interview that they take, or the essay that you write, or the values that you carry. They give weightage to these kind of things as well. So when you get these things acknowledged by such universities or such colleges, so obviously you get self-confidence and feel like staying at that place, studying further. Moreover, when you are there, when a different kind of, or altogether a different kind of environment is given to you, your teachers are noticing you and they are giving you environment to work, to have a first-hand experience of working there. So even right in the class or even immediately after the class, they get the work environment and they are able to get the opportunity to work in actual field also. Here, of course, in our country, we are, we of course, we have started with the kind of project work and as what they get in abroad or in different other countries. Moreover, there the students are staying. Of course, in metro cities nowadays, the cultural taboos like boys staying with girls and girls not staying in boys or something like that. But they are in a house, in a small single house. There are boys and girls from different backgrounds, and they are staying very healthy, in a very healthy way, in a very nice manner. Here, of course, the moment you tell someone, oh, are there all girls or are there all boys? And you say, the moment you say that no, I'm staying with my friends. Friends, मेरे दोस्त हैं. दोस्त कौन? लड़का या लड़की? Again, that's a big thing that they have to face. And when it comes kind of any kind of help that you want to have, maybe you are dialing the emergency numbers, but you hardly get any response. There, of course, it's very easy to get right from schooling itself to decide, oh, I'll be going to that particular university or college where I will be getting more freedom. Now, this freedom may not be just to get a freedom to what you want to wear, but how you want to express yourself. And moreover, on top of all, we have very limited choices of the subjects or the professional. There are numerous courses. We even might not